Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the PhazeCast.
Cast.
Sorry, tired. We have a new recording schedule.
We do?
I thought we did. Did we not?
Well, we're doing podcast on Wednesday and then whatever
I'm just
else we feel
saying.
like.
No. I'm just saying that I have been doing nothing but recording at night for you the past few.
Oh, night.
So,
At night. That only happened one other time. I went to see Kevin Smith last night. That wasn't why I couldn't record.
Oh,
Did
somebody
Kevin
ask
Smith
him about
night.
Kevin Conroy?
No, nobody asked him about Kevin Conroy, but he did answer that at a different show.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty good.
Very nice.
It's pretty good. Yeah. What for what reason did you see Kevin Smith last night? Was it just was he showing a movie? Was he just answering questions? Was it like a weird event?
It was a screening of Clerks III with a Q&A by Kevin Smith afterwards.
Oh, okay.
How
did you?
He introduced it, and then he came back out after the movie was done and answered a few questions. And he only answered like 4 questions because each one took about 20 minutes. It was awesome.
Oh wow, he went in depth. Okay.
Yes, he did.
How was your thoughts on Clerks 3? I still haven't seen it. Wow, that face change, that tone change. Okay,
come on. Here's what I will say.
It wasn't Clerks 1.
No, well, actually, it was, which was sort of the problem.
I know it was. That was the problem now, huh? The problem it was Clerks 1. Jesus, you are impossible to please.
Let me say that seeing it with Kevin Smith that way was the absolute best way to see it. It was a blast, and everybody was yelling when characters showed up and laughing at all. It was so much fun. I don't have like a full opinion on it yet because I had such a blast at that event.
You don't have an opinion because you had too much fun.
Well, I had fun. The crowd was fun. It was really. I mean, Kevin Smith is such an articulate guy, and you understand. The thing about Kevin Smith's movies is that even when they're bad, if you hear Kevin Smith talk about them, you understand where he's coming from. He's able to articulate it very nicely, what his goal was with each movie, what he was feeling, and that changes the experience. As a movie, as a viewing experience, the movie itself, I walked away from it feeling I had mixed feelings. There were some jokes that really, I mean, the thing is that it was funny. It was a funny movie. It was probably his best movie since like Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like Zack and Miri Make a Porno. We've done this before.
Yeah.
Maybe we should. What did we do this ago? Maybe if people look back on episode this.
Put it up there. It was
there.
Oh God, I'm not gonna. No, maybe I'll find the episode, but I know we did a phase point on Kevin Smith also, which involved Kevin Conroy.
We did. Oh, it hurts me. It hurts me.
And yeah, so
a lot of things hurt me lately. Oh boy.
In the context of other movies that I enjoy, it was decent. In the context of Kevin Smith movies that I enjoy, it was pretty good. It was not as good as Clerks 1 or 2, and it definitely spent so much time rehashing Clerks 1 that, because the thing is
the point of the movie, right?
Yeah, it is, and I get that, but the
meta thing.
Yeah, it is meta, but you just every moment that you get to probably the best part in that is Elias, the pillow pants guy from the second one. It was my favorite recurring joke in that movie. But the problem is any time that you get to spend with those characters, then you also spend time rehashing Clerks 1 in a way that is probably really satisfying for Kevin Smith, but not as satisfying for me as a viewer.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
But there were some really funny moments in it. They do a thing where Jay is uncomfortably bad at being in front of the camera, which was very funny. There was some funny. Justin Long was great in it. He had a scene. Good stuff. Overall, I liked it. And I'll tell you what, my fiance has seen Kevin Smith a couple of times, just doing his podcast live, and he did another show with Jason Mewes. I was like, I don't really, at this point in Kevin Smith's career, see what the appeal is of going to see him speak. Totally sold now. Anytime that he comes to town, I'm down to go. That guy is so fun to listen to. I was hanging on his every word.
Oh wow, super cool.
And based on that, I would give it 10 stars. You should see it. You liked Clerks. You liked
I have
Clerks
the
2.
ability. I have the ability to, even though they're in the same continuity and made from the same person, I have this ability to separate the different pieces of art from each other to appreciate them. I know that is a wild concept for you.
No,
But
I appreciate it as its own thing. That's what I'm saying. Is especially with Kevin Smith, I feel like I get where he's coming from when he explains where he's coming from. It makes a lot of sense to me. And in that regard, it works.
Okay.
It was a lot of closure for him, and it shows. And it was better written than anything since Zack and Miri.
Fair. Okay. Well, what was the in between Zack and Miri era?
Yoga Hosers, Tusk.
Kevin Conroy, great. Tusk was a hilarious. Tusk was just a bit movie.
Listen, I'm not saying
he's making a sequel. He's making a sequel, baby. Tusk.
Some people really hate Tusk. I don't hate Tusk.
It was a movie made simply out of a podcast idea.
It's fine.
It was great.
There's Yoga Hosers, that, and I did Red State. I think Red State came out after Zack and Miri also.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah,
low bar. But, except for Tusk, which is a masterpiece of cinema.
Right.
In other news, Bob Iger is back, baby, as the CEO of Disney.
I don't know what that means. Honestly.
Yesterday.
I don't know what that means to this day.
So, I'll tell you what, Joe.
Am I supposed to be excited for this
much.
change?
It doesn't. Well, so here's the thing, right?
Okay.
People are acting excited about it, but I recall a time when everybody hated Bob Iger also.
I recall a time where everybody hated everything, and then people liked the thing. It's just the world.
They always hate the guy in charge of Disney because the guy in charge of Disney has to make tyrannical, monstrous moves to make Disney happen. It just is sort of the way that works.
Okay.
Public opinion with Bob Iger has changed in recent years. He was the one that managed the acquisition of Pixar, of Lucasfilm, and of Marvel. So, of course, initially everybody complained about those things, but he's done a good job there.
Didn't they blindside the previous CEO?
Yeah,
they were just like, "Hey, motherfucker, guess what?"
Yes.
Oh fuck!
This happened last night, and we're talking 2 nights ago. Wait, no, several nights ago. It was Sunday night because this is now Wednesday.
Right. It's hold on. Did they reached out? Okay, I'm just reading some stuff right now. Apparently, Disney reached out to Bob Iger on Friday. Senior Disney leadership, including CFO Christine McCarthy, had concerns with Chapek's management of the company, and then Chapek and his inner circle were caught off guard on Sunday. They were just like, "Oh, hey."
And this happened pretty briefly.
Internal complaints about his leadership.
Yeah, well, internal and external, people did not care for it. So there are a couple of things. This happened pretty recently. I think it was maybe even the previous Friday. He announced that they were going to put in a hiring freeze. They were going to put in a hiring freeze. He was going to plan layoffs within the company. And I think that's kind of what... Right. Well, see, this is the thing, right?
Oh, that's why. That's why.
It's Disney makes so much fucking money as it is. There's really no reason to...
Why? Okay, so he did a hiring freeze and he was going to do layoffs. And Christine McCarthy, who I'm just reading some stuff right now, who's Disney's chief financial officer, was one of the people who was like, "Nah, that's not the right move."
That makes sense. I didn't know that that's who that was, but it makes sense then. She was probably like, "There's no reason to do that." I mean, there hasn't been, I think, a lot of reason. Bob Chapek. I think it's Chapek, not Chapek. I've never had to say it out loud.
Never had to say it out.
Bob Chapek was responsible
Effective
for...
immediately. Damn.
It used to be that when you went to Disneyland or Disney World, parking was included. You got fast passes for free. He set up this whole new system of like fast passes where you have to pay like for the fast passes, you have to pay for parking. I mean, people were showing, I was seeing figures where people were saying like on average a family of four would have to spend an extra like $500 a day to go to Disneyland since Bob
Ah,
Chapek took
so
over.
he was just a money monger,
Yes.
and his whole thing was to stop hiring and fire people.
Yes.
Listen, I hate to always bring it back to wrestling. Uh this screams Vince McMahon and the WWE.
What did Vince
And
McMahon do? I mean, I
Vince
know some of the
McMahon,
things, I guess, but
uh, for the last few, before he left, for the last few, like I want to say, let's say 3 years, I think. WWE record profits. They make a bunch of money with their, blood money pay per view in Saudi Arabia, and they were seeing record profits. They got bought out by Fox. They were doing all sorts of cool stuff. So about 3 years ago, it started, and then it continued on the pretty much the same date every year, just mass firings of not mass like I don't know what mass would mean, but in the wrestling world where people are like, like, oh, we care about these guys because this is who we follow. Anywhere from 10 to 25 people would be let go. And the reasons given were all the same. They were all budget reasons. You don't
and then he
really.
stepped down, right?
Well, he stepped down because he was basically forced to.
Well, Bob Chapek also stepped down. That's what
Yeah,
we
yeah,
call
yeah,
it,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. Yeah.
But and that's why I'm saying the similarity here. But basically, he let go of people with the reasoning budget issues when he was reporting record profits for the past 3 years. Things didn't make sense, and people were upset.
I mean,
And a lot of people, a lot of good people, lost jobs for no reason. And this, I was like, oh, so this dude was trying to pull a Vince McMahon. Good.
yes.
I'm
Um,
glad he
couple
didn't get
things.
to.
That
Uh huh.
sort of is a trend with a lot of companies right now, especially
Fair,
that there's a lot
fair.
of like manufactured inflation, and they're like, we're seeing record profits, so we got to keep it going somehow. Which sucks.
Right,
And
right.
Disney, God of all people, Disney doesn't fucking need it.
No,
Tell me more
no.
about the pay per view blood money, because that is a term that I have never heard before.
Oh, okay. We
Um,
can talk. We can talk about Crown Jewel a little bit. So Crown Jewel is it's a pay per view. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say pay per view. Uh, that's my fault. WWE no longer uses the term pay per view. They use premium live event.
what? So, but you pay per view of that premium
Well, if
live
you
event.
have
Is that
Peacock,
correct?
if you have
Oh,
Peacock,
you know what? You know what? I am
I told
so
you.
fucking
Yeah,
sick
yeah.
of people trying to get me to download
Uh huh.
fucking Peacock, man.
Uh huh.
Peacock and Paramount Plus can fuck
Yeah.
off. I don't want to hear another thing about them. So Peacock apparently that's not pay per view. Then you pay per Peacock.
Premium live event. So Crown Jewel is Crown Jewel is this premium live event that they do in Saudi Arabia every year. They've done four, and it's all part of this. You know, it's all part of Saudi Arabia's plan to repackage how the rest of the world views them. Essentially, it's like, hey, we're
Hmm.
great, we're cool, there's nothing wrong or fucked up going on here. So
Huh.
most wrestling events like this, or whether they're called pay per views or premium live events, are you pay to view it, you pay a ticket, and all of it's run by ticket sales and everything like that, and that's how they make their money. Saudi Arabia pays for all of it, so Vince McMahon would basically sign a several year deal to take money from Saudi Arabia, bring his wrestlers over there, and wrestle for the people there, which I'm all for. Whatever. People in Saudi Arabia like wrestling. But it is only possible just because Saudi Arabia is like, hey, we want America to like us. Here you go. There you go.
They sure do.
Yep, yep.
They sure
And
do.
it has caused a lot of problems in WWE specifically. There are some
Huh.
wrestlers who just refuse to go every year, which is fine. Um, because of their strict laws, some of the mostly the female wrestlers have to wear certain types of clothing while they choose to wrestle over there.
Hmm.
And working conditions there aren't always the best. There was one year where almost all the wrestlers basically almost died of dehydration and heat stroke.
Wow.
And
Are
this
they
is
still running
also
this? Is this still going on?
oh, Crown
Post
Jewel
post
just. Shall I tell
post
you about the main event of Crown Jewel that happened? When did this go? November 5th. Yeah, Crown Jewel
this
just happened.
just this past couple like a week ago, two
Yeah,
weeks
yeah,
ago?
yeah. 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
Crown Jewel just happened. The main event: Roman Reigns, world
Uh-huh.
undisputed heavyweight Universal Champion, versus Logan Paul.
Oh, this was the Logan Paul thing. It was
Yeah,
versus Roman Reigns?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because Logan
Dude,
Paul definitely deserves a chance at the top title, right? Right. Although, to be fair, I Logan Paul did a pretty good job. He's actually a decent wrestler, and I see him having a future in the business. Um, but like when I say blood money, and then I tell you how it's Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul in Saudi Arabia, I think that paints a picture in and of itself,
I
though.
do understand what you mean, yes.
You know?
I do
Mhm.
also think that I would have never guessed the trajectory of Logan Paul's career.
No, not
Um
at all. No, no, no.
I don't know what is ever going on with that
I don't
guy,
know
and I
how to
don't
feel about
really.
Logan Paul. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down.
I'm
Um,
always down.
you're always
Um,
down.
always
Listen,
down.
I I always view it as an entertainment aspect, and some of the biggest thing that he did that I hated, um, it sucks to say this, right? Because it was clearly a PR move. However, he apologized for it, and then he started promoting suicide hell.
Oh yes,
So you know
we are
what?
talking about the
Yeah,
Jeff. Yes,
Yeah, we're talking about that,
well, see, and
and
that's the
all the
thing.
interviews I've seen from him lately and all this other stuff, I'm like, all right, cool. I can't. People can change, right? Like
Yes,
100% people can change.
yeah.
I still think his brother's a little shit though. Every time I see his little brother, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this guy. He seems like a little shit. To the
I
point where
can't
even
even.
Logan Paul feels like I think my brother's a little shit. I feel like he feels that.
I can't tell the difference between the two of them. I could, if you put Logan Paul and Jake Paul in front of me and told me to shoot Logan Paul, I would just shoot both of them.
Oh, well, I
That
don't
was
know if you want
that was too loaded. that
Jesus
was
Christ, dude. Ugh.
that's not really the scenario that they give you
I
usually.
hope they don't
It's
give you
usually
that
like a
scenario.
clone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like if there's like a
Hmm.
clone of me and
But yeah, that's how I saw, like the whole Disney situation as I was reading about it, and you described it to me just now. I'm like, oh, blood money and just sacrifices. It's weird that they went to they. I didn't expect Disney would do a course correct like this.
yeah, well, so and here's the thing though that I feel like is weird is that it is possible that this was semi calculated from the start. Now, here's the thing about theories like that.
Ooh.
Everybody's got a theory like that the big
Hmm.
bad capitalist at the top is running the fucking evil streets like Elon Musk at Twitter. On both sides, I feel like people are giving him too much credit. They're like, "Oh, he's going to persuade people for the 2024 election," or then on the other side they're like he's actually got like a genius secret plan for Twitter. I feel like most of the time these like when you
Twitter is
get to the
now a bigger shit show than it's ever been, and it's kind of great.
it is
I feel like Hive, because what the Hive is the alternative, right? Everyone's
I don't
making
know.
Hive accounts right now.
Mastodon I've heard thrown around. Anyway, my point is
Mastodon doesn't have gaming, so I think they switched away from it.
when somebody has big really
Yeah, they don't
when
have like
somebody
a
has
gaming tab.
big dumb money like that, it's not always necessarily that they're trying to do the evil thing. The evil thing often happens because that is what our society rewards. Is sociopathic evil behavior, but
Sure.
but
Okay.
I think so. With that said, I have heard it floated the idea that Disney had the intention of putting these price hikes in, of doing all these things, had needed
Mhm.
a scapegoat, you know,
Uh-huh.
basically for the pandemic era to boost all the prices and get through all these shitty things happening,
Right.
and then boot him out and not really
So
change.
that's like the conspiracy you've heard, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's yet to be seen.
Hmm.
But so the thing is, though, in in um in
Can I tell you something I've just read?
yes.
This is from CNBC. I don't know how, but apparently, um, uh, Iger had consistently heard complaints from ex-colleagues throughout the year about Chapek's leadership style and decision to pull away budgetary power from Disney's creative execs. And several specifically noted, and this is fucked up. I didn't know about this. Chapek's plan to move 2,000 Disney employees from California to Florida.
Hmm.
He was just going to be like, hey, you work here now.
That would kind of suck for those people.
For them and all their families, yes.
Well, I have an article here also from the LA Times saying returning Disney CEO Bob Iger announces plans for sweeping overhaul, where he already has outed, or he already has fired the head of the media and entertainment distribution unit that was put up by Bob Chapek, all this stuff. So it does seem like maybe that is not the case. That would be nice.
Who knows?
I
Who knows?
I do think it's the sort of thing, right, where if you take like 3 steps back and then bring somebody in to take one step forward, it seems like a good move.
Listen, man.
Um,
Even though it sucks to hear the 3 steps back, at the end of the day, you still have to make steps forward. And eh, eh.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess ain't that just the way it is? But either way, Disney is a big evil company, and so
I
when
can't
it
wait till
really
we start
boils
watching
down to
One
it,
Piece. I know this
but
is weird.
what?
Sorry, I said I can't wait till we start watching One Piece. I
What? We're
because
watching One Piece.
we're watching One Piece.
What?
But hey,
Oh,
guys,
man.
we're gonna watch One Piece,
Oh my
all of it,
god.
and we're gonna take key moments of our reactions, his reactions mostly. I love One Piece, I know, and make videos about it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I promise the people on the show. Sorry, Eric, it's
How
happening.
anti-capitalist is it?
Oh, oh,
Is that what made you think?
oh!
Okay.
It's sick. I didn't realize it until like halfway through, and now I'm an adult, and I'm like, this is the most leftist piece of fucking animated storytelling I've ever. What? How did I get
Okay.
here? How did I
Okay.
get here?
Okay.
Listen, man, the kid just
Let's.
wants to be the most freest person out there, and he knows that there are people who just want to take that away from them. And one of the key people who does that is the world government.
Yeah, we'll
So
see. We'll see.
we'll see. We'll see.
Um, but yeah, Disney is an evil corporation, and the thing is that I heard people complain about Bob Iger my entire fucking life. I don't know how long Bob Iger has been the guy. Who is that? Michael Eisner was like when I was like a kid, was the guy, and then it was Bob Iger for a long time. I just feel like
I
I've
mean,
grown up.
people just complain though. You have to make your own opinions now that we're adults. That's the thing,
Yeah,
right?
I think probably this is a good move for Disney. I would love it if they made it more affordable to go to Disney. The problem is too is like they were like, oh yeah, well we're just gonna hike the price of Disneyland and also not like maintain anything or add anything. It's just silly. Um,
Who knows? I don't.
if there were a evil clone of me and I was there too, and the evil clone was like, you have to shoot one of us, what question would you ask me to find out which one was the evil clone?
So, do you like new or old
AFI.
AFI?
That's a complicated question, Joe, because really, I like the mid-range AFI the best. The goth years, the Sing the Sorrow, the Black Sails in the Sunset.
I shoot the other one. Fucking.
Prior to that, of course, the original Punk AFI is also very solid. It's very
This
good.
bit's done. This bit's over. So
December
that's
Underground
crazy.
is the teetering point.
That's crazy then. Well, hopefully Disney sees some growth here. In like I don't know, a step in the right direction. I don't think they're frankly, I don't think their content has really suffered. I have enjoyed all the content that I like the Disney platform for. I'm not a big. I mean, canonically on the show, I have not been to Disneyland quite a bit, and I never had the money to do it anyway. So like, we're good here, dog. You know what I'm saying?
We should go
Uh,
sometime, Joe.
man, that's expensive. That sounds expensive.
Listen, for the most part, I went because it was the '90s and it cost. God, I think Disneyland in the '90s cost like $30 to go to,
I don't believe
um,
it for a second.
which still is high for the. But anyway, we live like 20 minutes from Disneyland, and it's like $30 to go. Anyway, um,
Mhm.
the what was I going to say about Bob? No, not Bob. What were you talking about before that?
I don't
The
know.
Disney. Oh, Straw Hat Goofy did a TikTok recently where he was talking about the idea of there sort of being
Straw
a
Hat
new.
Goofy?
Yeah, Straw Hat Goofy.
You know where his name comes from, right?
I know where it comes from. It comes from One Piece.
One Piece, bitches.
It comes from Goofy, the dog man.
It's both.
Let me say something else. Okay,
All right.
before we wrap this episode up, two things. One, Straw
I'm
Hat
not
Goofy
close,
did.
go on.
We got 26 minutes in the bag. Straw Hat Goofy did a video where he was talking about the idea of there sort of being a resurgence of the like direct to VHS Disney movie in
Hocus
their
Pocus
Disney
2.
Plus content. Yes,
Are they doing like a Santa
Disenchanted.
Clauses?
Oh, dude,
Okay,
and apparently
can't
that is
wait.
garbage.
Can't wait. We
Apparently
need
it's Tim
more Tim
Allen.
Allen.
It's Tim Allen doing his Last Man Standing thing where he's like, "Oh, how come they say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas?" But I think that might have something to do. I mean, you can't blame that all on Bob Chapek, but some of this restructuring that's happened over the last couple of years, I think has something to do with that.
I think we're still gonna see those with Bob Iger, whatever the
Iger,
fuck.
yeah, I
Iger.
think we will.
I think that's fine and normal, and we're gonna get an Under the Bed 2, and you're not ready for it.
Don't look under the bed
No,
too.
look Under
I
the Bed
would
2.
watch that.
I
But
know you would.
the difference is, I mean, Bob
Give
Chapek
me
had
a
like
third Johnny Tsunami, baby. Let's go.
because there's a skate one, and then he went to space.
Snowboarding.
Oh, right, snowboarding, same difference.
Give me a Xenon and Johnny Tsunami track crossover. That's what I want.
They're from totally different time periods.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Time travel? I guess
Zoom,
Xenon can
zoom,
time
zoom.
travel.
Make my heart go.
Bob Chapek had an iron grip on the streaming thing. He was 100% into it.
Mm-hmm.
He's the reason that everybody was supposed to pay $30 for Mulan.
And I didn't.
Yeah,
and I didn't. And
nobody
I
did.
still haven't. I still haven't watched that movie.
And
I
what's
don't think I
funny?
missed anything.
What's funny though is had it not been $30, I would have seen that movie.
Probably because I was already paying for it.
Yeah. So he's an idiot. They're all idiots though in the long run. And then the second thing is that I know what a human animal is. Okay.
No, you don't. Because here's the thing I don't get. Like, you're like, what's he supposed to look like? Like, you haven't grown up watching fucking Disney your entire life. Like, you don't know what a Baloo is. Like, you don't know what a Scrooge McDuck is. That's
different.
Not different.
That's
it's the
different.
same shit.
Those are
You're
anthropomorphic
shit.
animals.
And that's what a mink is, you dumb shit. You just are an unimaginative fuck who needs things explained to you. I know this because I had to explain to you Luke's character arc 1,000 times.
I would argue that I'm too imaginative, Joe. That I've got too much imagination.
Your imagination is...
She just has a lot more ass than Baloo does.
No, she doesn't. So, Baloo has way more ass than Carrot.
That's fair, actually.
That's a wrong statement.
That's fair.
All right.
People in the comments, though, of that were like, well, first off, there's a weird age thing going on. I don't even want to get involved with that argument. Jesus Christ, people are weird.
Here's how I think about people in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna say it clearly. So anyway, guys, as we wind down and end today's PhazeCast, I once again am slightly heartbroken. Two heroes, two fucking heroes, 2 weeks. Okay, it's fine. Jason David Frank, actor for Green, White, 2 different Reds, and a Black Power Ranger. Tommy Oliver, the iconic Power Ranger. Here's my power coin. from his set. Here's the Dragon Zord power coin. Um, uh, unfortunately, took his own life a few days
That's
ago.
I. Oh wow, I didn't know
Yeah.
there wasn't a cause. It up.
Oh, you didn't know the cause? Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it was suicide. First off, may you rest in power. You were fucking. You were the Power Ranger for a lot of people. You were before Batman. You were my biggest obsession. Like honestly, like Power Rangers was the shit. You were the coolest fucker on there. You're the reason why I've always wanted long hair. Yo. Anyway, um, I clearly even though you spent a lot of your time post Power Rangers and most of your career spreading messages of positivity and trying to be there for people, you also carried some demons. And I had wished that maybe you would talk to someone. Who knows? Maybe you tried. Who knows? Maybe you were trying to tell people all along. Either way, you will be sorely missed. Fuck. I absolutely love the Power Rangers. I absolutely was a fan of your work. I'm very glad I got the opportunity to see him live. And like at a
Oh,
panel.
you did?
Yeah, at a panel, ask him questions. And at a different time, at a different con, I even got to talk to him a little bit. He was great. He was fucking wonderful. Always there for his fans. Always there. He was really cool. Um, for those of you watching or listening, however you consume your phase media, if you're going through something, I'm trying to do.
No, this
Hey.
is yeah. It's no
Yeah,
go.
I know. If you're
No,
going
good.
through something, if times feel hard, please reach out to someone. Even though you might feel like you're being a burden, reach out to somebody. And or if you want to, please just call call somebody. And for those of you who aren't going through things, when's the last time you talked to your friends? Reach out to your friends. Tell your people that you love them, that you care for them. It's so very important, especially now we go through a lot of times where people are angry at each other all the time because the internet exists and we're in a very hectic political and honestly global environment right now. So please, if you're struggling with something, reach out to somebody. If you're struggling with something but you're dealing with it, maybe reach out to somebody anyway because maybe they just want to talk about it with somebody too. Um, love yourselves. Uh, I give all of our commenters shit, and I don't want to listen to you guys all the time, but I actually do like you all. So,
Nobody's gonna comment on. Well, maybe.
people
But
might,
can I add to that?
of course.
I maybe not everybody feels this way, but sometimes I think about the fact that it's hard to reach out for help. But when I think about the times that people have reached out to me, when has anyone ever felt like a burden or annoying to me? And the answer is never. I'm
Hmm.
always happy to hear from somebody or to help somebody, and everybody feels that same way about you. So, you
Hmm.
know, I don't
And if
know.
they
That's
don't, then they're not worth your time in the first place.
yeah. Then they're jerks and fuck them. So,
Yeah, jerks and fuck them. This is the most meaningful time I will say this again. Thank you for spending some of your time with us.
we'll see you on another time.
Yep, talking about fucking a muppet somehow. Bye, everybody.
I'm sorry. I ruined your I ruined your vibe.
Oh, you're good, dude. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Hit the end recording now. This is gonna go over the thing at the end.